different, and they're so blasted good, and I I can't figure it out. But
Well,
guys are like, well, why don't you interview for other jobs? I said, I don't want this job. I don't want this job.
And really, all it takes is because I can remember like when I saw it, and I always bring out like Dave. I was like, I'm Dave. I just fill David because he's got so much going on.
Right.
I just keep him in the loop so that he kind of has a clue, right, when it comes to the scoop or whatever. And I said, hey, your buddy's mentioned in the Ramapo gig. He goes, he ain't going there. I said, yeah, but I bet you his phone's ringing now.
Oh God, I mean, I said, are you serious? First of all, I guess I could look pretty good in green, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I just share.
Aaron White went and did it.
Yeah, well, I mean, my mother used to say to me, if you can remove morality from decision making, it's pretty easy. You know?
But I also look at that, something like that too, right? That just tells you the state of like the world, like our coaching world here. Like a Ramapo job opens up. That there should have been, you know what I mean? Like that would have been like who's who of rush. Like, let me go get that.
But there's no teaching jobs. I mean,
that's why the other guy left. You got Morangi now on the other side.
It doesn't seem like they can really get it together in that. I mean, imagine if they did. God forbid they did.
And Coach, what did you say earlier? It comes from where?
It comes from the top.
There you go.
It comes from the top. I don't even know. They have, it's a confused area. We had a great superintendent forever here. I mean, this guy Pat Fletcher, and I work with him at Glen Rock. I mean, and most of our disagreements we had were my fault, without question. He had to set me straight sometimes. You know, I mean, it would be like,
that's his job.
I want to do this. He says, you can't do this, but I want to do this. I'm your boss. I said, okay, so we'll do what you want me to do. All right. And now we have
inside my texture.
And now we have another guy. We have Dr. Jim Albro, who was a football coach at one time in his life. Jim
Albro, yeah.
Yeah, he's our superintendent. So
that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, we've always had good people around there. I mean, even though, as Dave knows, I got fired in 2007 twice. All right, do that before the season, right? I got fired twice as a teacher, but I got more lives than a cat. So
DJ did land on your feet.
DJ did one of the most brilliant places. DJ did one of the most brilliant moves. You could say all the things you want about the 2017 and how great it was, but before the season started, after almost getting fired because you had hired me, and you're like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be the coach anymore. I'm like, wait, what? So, but
you're like, this might happen.
But he did one of the most brilliant moves. It was good. Everyone knew that this team was going to be at least pretty good, right?
Really good,
yeah, at least pretty good. But there was a whole thing about the captains, right? Who's going to be the captains? And DJ came in there. He said, all this stuff's going on. Captain, who's going to be the captain? All the seniors are captains. Every single one of you are captains. And then I think maybe game day you brought out.
I said to him, you can pick.
Okay, here you go.
This is a great story because you can pick the game you want to go out for the coin toss. Say we got this game, that game. And one kid didn't pick anything. And we get to the 12th game, which is the sectional final, and we're at the stadium. And I'm like, okay, the captains. And a kid named Shane Fowler stands up. He says, my game. I've been waiting for this.
Nice.
He never said he was going to be the game captain, and he was the game captain in the final.
Good for Shane Fowler. Love him. The Fowler brothers.
Players. I mean, but
they were tough. They were tough.
What from the heart guys, I mean,
yeah.
They were. So I would say that incredibly tough kids at Riverdale. We have really.
Yeah, that's the one thing, Coach, that I've you know what I mean? Like that's that gritty type of Bergen County, like punch you in the mouth, little blue collar, kind of like we are Butler, Morris County. I really kind of comparable type of kid.
We get a tough kid, and so Coach, I'll tell you a funny story. We're playing Par Hills in I think 2019 in the semis.
Albano.
Yeah, he just took the Randolph job. He just took the Randolph job. So Dave's Albano's
great guy. He's always him and he's a Matt Sakis guy, right? Like
he's at
guys are. Yeah, you got Matt Sakis. He's at Jefferson now.
Yeah. So we're playing him. We have a kid who's an offensive tackle. He's a lean kid, typical Riverdale kid. He's kind of 190 pounds, 6'2". All right, Ryan McDonald, really good player. He's actually a senior right now, and I'm still in the track program at Susquehanna. You're not believe Dave. Wyatt's a sophomore in college now. My Wyatt.
Unbelievable.
So he's a sophomore there. And of course, he's never met Ryan because he's always Wyatt's always in the lab. He's a computer science physics guy.
Right.
So, McDonald's playing tackle, and there's a kid from Par Hills who his last name is Thompson. He's playing for Rutgers now. And we played them earlier in the year and we beat them. So in that game, Ryan breaks his hand. So he's playing with the club whole season. Right before we play the semifinal, he gets the club off. So we're playing them, and this kid Thompson's putting moves on him on the edge. He's a beast. He's a great player. All right. Smart, physical. All right. Got a lot of reps because Dave started him as a sophomore. I mean, and Ryan's like a 1.5-year starter. So Ryan's like whiffing on moves that aren't even being made. It's like he doesn't know what to do, right? So Ryan comes off the field, and we're in the middle of this tight game. And he says, "Coach, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure, Mac. What do you got?" He says, "Do you think I got better this season?"
Nice.
And I said, "Yeah, you got better." He says, "Because that guy got a lot better." So that's what we get. But here's a stat. Here's a stat for you, Dave. In 20 years at Riverdale, we've had 14 different football players throw a shot over 50 feet.
That's
really
amazing. That's amazing.
That's the difference.
Who threw the farthest? Trask?
Well, no. Sean O'Neill threw 56 feet as a junior.
Okay.
56 feet. I can tell Sean O'Neill stories all day.
Right? He's the greatest.
He threw 56 feet as a junior from a standstill. And then
he didn't glide or he punched it?
No, he's wearing his Jordans, same ones he wore to his prom. All right. So anyway, he kind of just like would run across circles. He's only been throwing for like 3 weeks. Throws 56 feet. His senior year, the school claimed he was ineligible, so he wasn't able to compete. So he threw 56. We had a kid, Andrew Tamino, who was a fullback D lineman kid. Andrew Tamino threw 58.
Oh, wow.
He was the captain of the throwing team at Monmouth.
There you go.
And then Asim Green, who was ineligible his senior year, he threw 58, I think, indoors his senior year. Was
that your tackle that you had?
Yeah. He played against you guys and was just a road grader against Ramco the next year in a final. But all kinds, John Farrelly's son did. Some kids, Ryan was
Farrelly. I miss Farrelly.
Ryan didn't make that list. That's right. He threw like 48 and then he got COVID. They had the COVID season senior year in track, couldn't throw in the spring. But we had the other kid, Josh Yonsei, who's playing up at Colby, another one of the guys. But there's a whole
That's a great place to be right now, too.
Yeah, and I'll give you 2 other guys. Matt Coe.
Okay.
Because, again, I could say this on a podcast. Our demographics changed dramatically. We're 25% Asian now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're 15% Hispanic, and we're growing Middle Eastern population.
Wow.
So it's a real immigrant population. Boy, do these kids work, and they love playing football. They love doing everything, and they're not afraid to fail, and they give you everything. But Matt Coe was the first kid that we had who was in that ethnic group. All right, and he threw the shot well over 50 feet. He has his own. He runs his own unit at Mount Sinai Hospital.
Wow.
There you go.
And then Jay Choi is one of the best athletes I've ever coached. He played up at Ithaca, and he not only got his doctorate from Ithaca in physical therapy, he's passed his boards. He's a doctor of physical therapy at 25, 26 years old.
See, that's the part that I love. I love seeing guys do better, right? Like, look, football's great, wins and losses are great, but man, like, we're not all going to the NFL, and like now that you can just come back, you're doing things with your life, it's positive. Like, that's where I get the most joy out of it, when I see those guys doing great.
Our throwing coach is still the same guy. He's 80 years old, Lou Saragnano. He's fantastic. His tone with his kids, he's got the drive. We all tell about the funny thing when Lou talks to his kids about throwing. After a meet, he'll have 3 kids in front of him. He'll say PR, which means personal record. He'll say PR, 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 and he'll get to the 4th kid. He'll say PU. All right. Yeah, it's just kind of like a unit. So we've gotten kids to do that. Austin Berger was a starter up at Utica. He's working in cybersecurity.